Okay, we're going to go ahead and solve rational equations. This is from Unit 3 review, examples 4 and 5. We'll do these together. The first thing I need to do is I need to find the lowest common denominator. We don't like fractions. If we can make fractions go away, life is a lot easier. You'll notice we have an x here in the denominator. So our LCD in this scenario is just simply an x. And the way I make it go away is I need to multiply everything by x. If I distribute, on the left side, I would get x squared plus, and then if I put an x right here, they would cancel out. So I have no x there, and hence no more fraction. So it's just plus 6 equals negative 5x. I'm going to go ahead and move this negative 5x to the left. This goes away. And I get x squared plus 5x plus 6 equals 0. Now this should be something I can factor pretty easily. And the only leading terms that can be multiplied together to produce an x squared are x and x. I always like to focus on my signs next. I notice that they have to be the same and they both have to be positive, plus and plus. I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to 6 and add to 5. Those numbers are 2 and 3. And again, I do a quick check. My inners give me 2x. My outers give me 3x. They would produce 5x if I combine them. Okay, a couple ways to do this. You can think of making two little separate equations. When would x plus 3 equal 0? And when would x plus 2 equal 0? But I think the easier way to do this is I just need to look in this first set of parentheses here and say what would produce a 0 in that set of parentheses. And my answer is negative 2. Or if I looked over here and solving the equation, I would get the same thing. So negative 2 is one of my answers. And then I look and I say, okay, what would produce an x in that, or 0 in that set of parentheses? And the answer is negative 3, which I would also get if I used one-step algebra over here on the right. Now, both these answers are good. We look sometimes for extraneous solutions, but I notice I can plug both those in for x, and I don't have a situation there. The only time I should have a situation is if I'm dividing by 0. So literally, the only number x cannot be in this scenario is 0. Okay, I'm going to rewrite this problem. And I'm going to factor this long trinomial right here. And I have 11 on top. And this will factor out to x times x. And you'll notice my signs have to be the same or different. We'll go plus and minus. And I'm going to try 9 and 2. And I check it. That's 9x. That's negative 2x, and that would factor or combine to make positive 7x. Now you'll notice, hopefully, if you're not very good at factoring, you notice, hey, those are kind of similar. And they will be in this scenario, or else things wouldn't cancel out. So my LCD in this particular problem, my LCD is x plus 9 times x minus 2, the whole thing. So I need to multiply everything by x plus 9 times x minus 2. So x plus 9 times x minus 2 on the left. And then over here, x plus 9 times x minus 2. On the right side, it's pretty easy. The x plus 9s will cancel out. The x minus 2s will cancel out. I'm left with just 11. Now on the left side, I need to distribute all of this in. Right there and right there. Now, if I'm looking at this first set of parentheses, or excuse me, terms right here. So if I were to distribute this in, hopefully you notice the plus 9s would go away. And I would be left with 7x times x minus 2 plus. And then if I look at these first or second terms here, hopefully you notice the x minus 2's would go away, and I'd be left with 1 times x plus 9. Now, you don't really need the 1 there, but I'll put it there for notes purposes. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and distribute right here and here. I get 7x squared minus 14x. I can distribute that 1, or it can just disappear. Plus x plus 9 equals 11. And now I'm just going to clean some things up. I can go ahead and combine like terms right here. I get 7x squared minus 13x. And then I'm also going to subtract 11 from both sides. So this goes away. I get negative 2 equals 0. Now this is something I can factor out. We'll go ahead and factor. 7x and x are my only options to multiply together to give me 7x squared. I notice my signs have to be different. I'm going to go plus and minus. And then my only options for numbers that multiply to 2 are 2 and 1. And I'm going to try a 1 here and a 2 here. And when I check real quick, this gives me 1x, this gives me negative 14x, and those would combine to give me negative 13x. Okay, my answers. The one on the right is pretty easy. I notice what would create a 0 in that set of parentheses, and that answer is 2. And then the one on the left here, I do have to think of this like a little two-step algebra equation. When would that 7x plus 1 equal 0? And it's a two-step, right? Subtract 1 for both sides, and I would divide by 7. So here's my two answers. Now, one of these is no good. I'm going to go ahead and put a circle around this and cross it out. And we say this is extraneous. So that's an extraneous solution. It works out mathematically, but if I look up here in my original problem, okay, I can't put a 2 right there for x or right here for x because I cannot divide by 0. So mathematically it worked out nicely, but it's not a solution I can plug back in.